Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Tarot for Him. My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, today the message is about truce. Now, this can be a truce between you and another person, but it looks to me it's more like a truce you're calling with yourself and a new agreement with yourself. And if it is with another person or another situation, apply it however you need to. But there's a reason why it feels like you're calling a truce with yourself, because we're living in two worlds at once, it feels like. And so on the one hand, it feels like you're breaking free from something. I love how these bonds are broken, and whatever was restraining her, she's looking the other way. So it's like you've recently broken free from something. It would be something if this was right side up, because it would be, she's breaking free and she's going on this new adventure. But it's reversed, so I don't know. It feels that you don't have to run away from anything. In order to break free, there's not a running away. And I think that's what this truce is about. Maybe before you were bouncing between extremes of like, well, it really feels like a work play kind of a balance. And that's where we come to these cards right here. She's juggling, and this is very much about being in alignment with time, being on time, having things in place. It's like this very structured way of living, but he's like dead inside. And where, at least she's got all this green, all this life, but she's juggling things. And so it feels like there's a truce that you're making with yourself about who you authentically are and how that fits into this facade you have to wear for the mundane work-a-day, everyday kind of a thing. I want to say that ultimately you will be moving towards your more authentic self, but it looks like there's a process, and so that's where this truce is. So instead of allowing yourself this paradigm of not living your passions and not allowing yourself to be magical and one with nature. And I feel like, you kind of got to look at these right side up. Right side up, this guy is like a shaman. He's a medicine man. He's got the snake for healing. He's got his staff. He's got his, medicine belt, all these different things, his cloak. He's even got like this halo around his head. He's very much in his sacred energy, his sacred divine masculine energy. And then over here is, this is the king of fire. He's the king of fire. He's passionate. He's inspired. He's motivated. He acts on his dreams. But both of these are reversed. And so it just feels like it feels like a stifling. It feels like feeling stifled, almost like being buried alive in almost a grief of not living your authentic self. And so again, I feel like this truce is breaking free from that energy. And so, but at the same time, not going to the extreme of just, quitting your job, quitting your life, running away and living in the forest, because that might feel very tempting. But the fight with yourself, it's almost like part of you so yearns to be free and live a sovereign, authentic life. And so it just feels like there's a process, there's a balance. Again, where did that balance card go? There's a balance as you bring yourself back to life, because again, this guy looks dead. So it's funny that I say he looks dead, and then on this card, there's literally a human skull. And this is the Three of Air. Normally, the Three of Swords is all about heartbreak. So I like this, because this is the alchemy that you do. What you do with the energy of that heartbreak, and it looks like the heartbreak, again, it's like being buried alive. I feel so dead inside, just being a robot and showing up on time and whatever. Like, what is the meaning of it all? Because there's really not much meaning to that. Like, yeah, we like to eat. We like having a warm place to live and running water. Like, yes, those are really nice things. But you got to live your passions. And so this is like a younger version. This is the 14 of fire, very much the king with the lion. This is the 12 of fire. And she's kind of more like, I guess I'd be more like the page, but, and she does kind of look like a court jester. What I love is these peacock feathers over her third eye. It's very psychedelic feeling, and it's like remembering that you are this like royalty and you're this multi-dimensional being. And I love that the sun overhead has the eye in it. So this is like a chakra above your head, and it's like you're receiving more and more channeled information about remembering that the royalty that you are. You're a king and you're a queen too. But this is tarot for him, so, you know, however it resonates. But it's almost like reigniting your own passions. Maybe, you know, maybe you're not here yet, but at least you are allowing yourself to feel. You're allowing yourself to breathe. You're allowing yourself some breathing room, and you're letting yourself die to the old. That's really what it feels like. You're learning about your own alchemy. And slowly it looks like you're manifesting a more authentic life. And so then we come to these cards. This is the Queen of Air. And then this is the Nine of Fire. And so it really just feels like a really strong balance between head and heart. You know, heart and mind, whatever. It's a strong balance, but really cultivating and nourishing what's at your heart and what's at your throat too. And learning to speak your truth and live your truth, and learning to feel safe in, in your authentic expression of self and being that wild being. And then also I like this Queen of Air because she speaks her truth. She speaks what's on her mind. She's you know, forthcoming with that. And I don't know what the feeling, you know, is in the Queen over the King. The Queen of Air usually seems a little colder than the King. And so it's not telling you to be cold, but it does feel like don't fuck yourself. Don't let yourself go so wild that you fuck yourself. But also using that mental power, understanding that this is this great, you know, it's your consciousness, and that you can develop solutions so that you can more and more step into your authentic freedom. All right, that's all I have for today. But until next time, peace and love.